This video is to display a histogram using StatPlus LE for the Mac with Mac Excel. So the first thing we're going to do to develop a histogram is we're going to move over to StatPlus. We're going to go to Statistics, Basic Statistics and Tables, and down at the bottom is Histogram, so we're going to select that option. It's going to give us this box here that'll give us an option for a sorted histogram, or ask us whether or not we want to hide empty bins. You can pretty much ignore this and just click OK. This is where we select our variables and bin range and frequency variables and things like that. We're going to go to continuous variables, and we'll just select the first row of our data. So we're going to do a histogram for our attending class / studying variable in our data set. We'll now return to StatPlus, and it's picked that up. We're not going to worry about these three options for the moment. We may come back and visit the bin range in a minute, but for the moment we won't worry about that. We'll tell it that the labels are in the first row, and we'll click OK. It's going to think about it for a minute and open up a new box with the results and draw us a histogram. So the results, let me pull this histogram. Let me make this histogram a little bigger, actually, so we can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to move it and drag it so it's a little larger so we can see it a little better. This shows us the count along this axis, and the bins along the bottom axis, and the number of options that appear in each bin. So we can see that it goes up to 30 to 35, and then gives us a bin for more than 35, from up to 0, 0 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 22, 22 to 25. So these are kind of strange bins. They're not bins that are super useful to us. So it would probably be better to have some more useful bin ranges. So it looks like, let's take a look at the data. It looks like we don't have it looks like the highest value I've seen so far is 65. So let's do it in spans of 10, between 10 and 70. So we're going to go over here and we're going to create a little variable called bin. And then in the columns below it, we're going to tell it the upper limit. So we're going to say 10 for the first bin, 20 for the second, 30 for the third, 40, 50, 60, and 70. These will be the upper limit ranges for our bins. So 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, and so forth. You get the idea. Now let's go back to StatPlus and open up the histogram again. Click OK on that. For continuous variables, we're going to select our attending class studying variable again. We're going to return to StatPlus, and on the bin range variable, we're going to select this set here. That'll tell it the appropriate bin ranges to use for our histogram. We're going to return to StatPlus. We can skip these two and click OK. And now we have a more useful histogram that shows us a little better what's going on. And we don't, you'll notice, have any in our more column. So let's move this chart over a little bit so that we can see what's going on, and expand it a little bit so we get a kind of a clearer picture. I really like that it generates a nice looking bar chart with this sort of gradient in the bars. It's kind of nicer than the standard Excel output, I think. So it shows you on this axis our count, on this axis our bins, and it gives you a little table over here that shows you your bin range, the number of items in each bin, the sort of cumulative count, so that you can see that it counts, like it adds the total to the total for each bin to the previous total, so that you can see how many pieces of data you have in your data set. Then it gives you what percentage of the data is in each bin. So 0.5% in the first bin, 0.01% in the second, or 1% in the second bin, 5% in the first bin, 47% here in the 20 to 30 range. So that's clearly where sort of the median of our data falls. And then cumulative percent, so you can see that eventually you get up to a full 100% of your data. So that's pretty handy. And then you can copy and paste this into your so you can copy your column using Control-C and paste it here. Then you can return to your data, grab your chart, and paste it here. And you can use these handles on the ends to click and drag and resize that to be the size that you want, and submit your results that way. You can also make changes to it using the chart layout and format options. So you can change some of the colors and effects with the format. Under chart layout, you can do a better job of labeling your data or labeling your axes by using, for example, the horizontal axis under axis options. You can set where the axes cross, what the interval between labels and tick marks are, what the numbers look like, how many ticks you have, all kinds of various options for creating a table. But I think the default table that StatPlus puts out is a really nice looking table, so that's the one that it seems to me would be most useful to go with. So histograms are nice and easy with StatPlus LE, and that concludes this video. Talk to you soon.